post-literacy is?
Well, my feeling is that post-literacy is what happens when reading and writing, when visible language has been superseded by something much more powerful, some capacity or capability, which will make reading and writing kind of like a fetish. It won't be that important anymore. So for me, reading and writing are doomed, and post-literacy, or literacy, I should say, as we know it, it's over, it's toast. And so I think there's this post-literate future that's going to happen that will be, frankly, I think, advantageous. It will be actually better than what we have now.
Okay, and how would you feel if we were to take all of the books that you own now and destroy them?
Oh, I mean, honestly, I'd be sad. But I think that's part of the fetish we have around books. We think of them as objects, and they are important objects. But it really is the ideas, the concepts, the emotions that are inside those books that's really important and really critical. And that can be expressed, that can be provided in all sorts of other different and, I think, more powerful ways. So yeah, the books are important, and they have been important. But maybe they're not going to be as important going forward. Now, to be honest, that's not going to happen Tuesday. Post-literacy isn't going to arrive next week. But it is going to evolve, it is going to change. And gradually those books will be perhaps museum pieces.
I think the ability to read and write is a pretty big deal. It's something we definitely need now, always needed, but like really now. If you can't read and write, you can't do anything. Very, extremely, the most attached.
So what do you think a post-literate world is?
To me, a post-literate world is one where we have lost or abandoned the ability to communicate by writing. To me, it seems to be a tragedy if we evolve in that way. The medium is the message. And how we write and the words we use are vitally important. How we read them is important. We digest words differently, we feel words differently, we read at different paces. The medium is the message. Marshall McLuhan was right. I don't want to be in a post-literate world.
Do you believe in such a world?
If you put a time frame on it, eventually we will get there, but you're looking at thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Right now it seems to be an empty theoretic world with no time frame.
Do you consider yourself an avid reader?
No, I am an avid reader. I love my books. I read fiction and nonfiction. I revisit favorite books. Large user of libraries. I read in my everyday work. I read for fun. I read newspapers. I read online. Yes.
What is it about books that you think are important?
They communicate ideas, and you can revisit ideas. You can revisit an essay, you can revisit an article, you can revisit a book. And at different stages of your life, you will interpret what you read differently.
So how do you feel if you found out people were ripping up books?
Where once they burn books, they end by burning people. That's from a German poet in the 1800s. Same thing applies to ripping up books. Once you start destroying ideas, you destroy the people behind the ideas. And that's unacceptable.
I'd be pretty upset because I like to read and I like reading before bed and whatnot, and I don't really know what I would do without that.
Okay. Have you?
I would hate it because I like to spend my spare time reading sometimes.
And do you think that literacy is a key quality of life, or could post-literacy be beneficial?
Oh, it's definitely a key quality because our world revolves around it.
Okay, thank you.
I love to read books. I personally don't like those e-readers and stuff. I guess boycott them. I love to buy books, so I can't imagine a world without books or writing or whatnot.
Codex is one of the most important inventions in all of human history, and it's preserved knowledge for 2,000 years, and there's something about not just the aesthetic of the book, but I think about the way we read that's completely different when you're turning a page than if you're absorbing information in another way, including electronic.
Alright, so those are all valid points.
But we still want you to rip up a book.
You know, I've never necessarily been the biggest fan of books, so I'm not too sad to see them go.
About meaning, and it's about what happens in between each word, and for that involves, the human imagination and the creative mind.
Dependency on it to have sort of knowledge recorded, in my opinion, is pretty important. And I think it sparks a certain amount of like comprehension in a person, being able to like, make connections that they otherwise wouldn't be able to make just by being able to talk to somebody else. No, just because I think that's the reason. The reason why we moved away from that instead of writing things down is so that we could actually, I guess in a way, record and otherwise develop our cognitive ability.
Books are classics. It's like paintings. If we were just like burning some paintings, like burning a Picasso, burning someone who's no name, wouldn't matter.
Definitely see like us progressing there. It's just right now for me, it's like painful to watch because like you grew up with all the stories and everything. I can't imagine like a world without like Shakespeare stories because I love these books so much and they get lost in my head. And, like I can't.
It was great because then I asked the teacher how you get it. It's nothing. It's nothing against actual books, physically, but like we're just trying to demonstrate that maybe literacy isn't something that we should be this attached to.
It's hard enough accepting that there's dinosaurs, right? But if you can put your hand on a dinosaur bone, there's a difference. Books are
What if we didn't need them? What if we were able to connect to everyone on a level above the physical, like on a mental level, have like a hive mind per se? That's one option we looked at. So you know everything everyone else knows.
A pretty boring world. How would you like to have sex that way?
It's like pornography. I want a picture of someone shredding a book.
Capture that line.
I can't believe I'm going to do this.